out in the undertow. So toxic, but I can't get enough. You burying me, burying me. Yeah, you burying me, burying me. You've got me hypnotized. Push me out of myself. You've got me hypnotized. Whoa. I can see, I can hear, going crazy by the light. It's got me hypnotized. You've got me hypnotized. Can I get you out of my hand?
I guess that'll boom just like that.
Boom.
It's Thursday
Boom.
night.
Wow.
You know what that
What
means?
happened?
It's Bad Buttons Bobby not knowing what he's doing. Yes, that's right. We're the Video Bros, and it's party time. I'm Bobby Munson. And beside me, the man with the angelic voice, Papa Smokes. Papa Smokes, brother, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Munson. Having a great time on a Thursday evening as usual. Let's get down to some Ring Respect Radio and some wrestling talk. Hey, we got a buddy as a guest here tonight.
We've got the other Video Bro coming back on screen right there. The man below us, it's Basser.
What's
Basser,
up, boys?
how are you doing, brother?
I'm tired. How are you boys doing? Well, I made here just in time. It was a buzzer beater, so
Yeah, that's right. You had to do dad duties. We get it. We get it. It's all good.
dropped her off early. Classic.
Yeah. And speaking about our main topic tonight surrounds these people. Prairie Pro Wrestling up in the house. Hey, look, it's Papa Smokes. Oh, and that Munson guy as well, I guess. Thanks to PPW. Always appreciating the love being showed here. Speaking of love, nothing but love from this guy right here. BDJ 306 up in the house. Holy hell, what an entrance. Hey, brother, how you doing? Thanks for joining us on Ring Respect Radio. And gentlemen, I got to take this moment to say, on Saturday, June the 29th, live in Saskatoon from the Cosmos Senior Center, it is PPW presents the Great Canadian Rager, eh? With the main event being for the PPW Championship. It is going to be Cutthroat Colton Kelly defending against Sheik Akbar Shabazz. Gentlemen, what a match we got on our hands. It's going to be wild. In 1 week, just over 1 week's time, it's going to be a fun time. So, Bass, I got to ask, are you coming to the show?
Might make it.
Might make it. He's a
What?
decision. Oh my!
We'll see. I got so many things that I do on a regular basis. It's so crazy. No, I'll be there at 5. Yeah,
You'll be there.
Game time decision. Yeah.
I like to get there before the wrestlers so I can just hey, hey man.
Make sure to get your general admission tickets now on sale at Glitch Gifts and Hunter's Bowl, and do so because they are flying off the shelf, as well as we are. I think we're pretty much sold out on all of the seats for the show as well too. All reserved seating is 100% sold out for PPW. Standing room only for all you wild
shit
there.
On a long weekend.
A long weekend, and it's still the hottest damn ticket in town. PPW. Everyone wants to see that rematch between Colton and the Sheik. It's going to be a good one, boys. Looking forward to it.
Totally.
Lots of great stuff. But speaking of great stuff, we are going to do our Prairie Pro Wrestling draft night here. So for anybody who's new to this, hasn't heard about this, and never seen us do this before, what we do here on the show is we go ahead and we pick wrestlers from the independents. We're looking for people who aren't tied to a long-term contract. I did say we can make some exceptions with certain companies, TNA, stuff like that. But the rule here essentially is we're picking 5 singles wrestlers. At least one has to be a female wrestler. in that mix. And then we get one tag team of our choosing. We're going to go around the table. We're going to discuss each of the picks that each of us has had. And we're going to go from there. So, Bass, as the guest, my man, and your first time doing this with us, who do you got for your very first pick here?
I'm just going to start off by saying I don't watch a ton of independent wrestling. The most I watch is usually Instagram, YouTube matches. So a lot of my picks are people who I started following on Instagram and then, start following their matches. But I mean, in this day and age, that's where a lot of people are finding wrestling. So
yeah,
for sure.
Whew, I didn't know you were going to let
drum
me.
roll, pick number one. Here we go. Here we go. What do you got?
I'm going to start with Speedball Mike Bailey.
Okay.
I don't believe he's. I think he's got like a TNA contract, but he has like in the last few months he's fought Zoe, and he's making his tour around. I saw he had a match with Dolph Ziggler, so he's kind of all over the map. Having a guy like that coming to PPW would definitely bring some eyes to the show, and he does some pretty crazy moves. He's a great wrestler, so it'd be something to see in the senior center.
The PPW Nation would love that pick for sure. Obviously, a very big name amongst many. He has worked independent. So that's why I said TNA contracts can kind of be an open thing because they're open to working elsewhere. Same with Japan, New Japan, stuff like that. A lot of the times they're not necessarily tied to a contract that doesn't allow them to venture out a little bit more, which we're seeing more from all across the board right now. But I still think, I guess our main thing is no dub contracts, no AEW, no AEW, no WWE. That's the rule here today. So great way to start off. I used to know a guy who, hey, that's your one get out of jail free card there, my friend. All right, Papa Smokes, either thoughts on Mike Bailey or give us your first pick, or give us both thoughts on Mike Bailey, and then
I was going to ask: is Bailey Canadian as well?
Yes,
I thought he was.
I'm not
Where's he
100%
from?
sure.
I'm pretty sure he is. Hold on, I will confirm. But I'm pretty sure he's from out in Montreal or something. Yeah, Canadian professional wrestler. Let's just see where he was born. And here we go. Born in Laval, Quebec, Canada.
There you go.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so I like that
against him.
Yeah. I kind of like that pick for not only Canadian talent, though, but as Munson and I sometimes categorize our picks in these drafts, some of them are more realistic and some of them are pipe dreams, right? This one has a realisticness to it. It could happen.
Yeah. He's
getting popular now, but we could get him, I bet. Yeah.
He fought Zoe, and I've seen Zoe fight like 5-6 times.
There you go.
There you go.
There
the
you
multiverse.
Go. Great way to start it off. So, Papa Smokes, going over to you. Who's your first pick?
Okay, my first pick is someone that we've seen on MLW in the past, but he's a free agent in the indie world. And Astrid has interviewed him somewhat recently. That is our buddy Vinny Pacifico. You remember him, Munson? He was a babyface job guy for MLW. He's good. I liked him there. I followed him on X, and this is a good guy. He seems to me to be a fine young lad in most ways. He's training. He's really into wrestling. He's dedicated to wrestling. If you follow his X, he's traveling around all the time, but he's a body guy too, so he's hitting his workouts, he's hitting his diet, but he's working with all kinds of different wrestlers from all kinds of companies all over the U.S., and I think he may have played up in Edmonton as well. So this is a guy, it's somewhat possible that we could see this guy in PPW someday, but he's also busy on the indie circuit. What do you think? Do you remember the guy I'm talking about, Munson?
Oh, 100%. I was actually going to say, I don't know if there's enough energy drinks in all of Saskatoon to bring him here to perform for us. But yeah, Vinny, he's great. He's fantastic. I like the guy. I think it's a great pick. I've also followed him as well, too. I watch a lot of his stuff on there. He's gonna be somebody. He's going to go places. I really like that pick.
Definitely.
Cute. Yeah, there you go. There's one for you to check out, Bass.
There we go.
Recommended from Papa Smokes himself. So,
Yep.
So my first pick, I'm going to go with somebody who I believe is a very realistic pick, and I really wish there would be an open window for this to happen, because I believe that he belongs in a PPW ring, if at least once, before he becomes a big star, and that's Sebastian Wolf. Sebastian Wolf has got the look, the skill, the ability. This guy is a fantastic worker in the ring, originally from Saskatchewan. He is a native Aboriginal from here, right here in Saskatchewan. And yes, he has been going all over the place, always making an impact every single place that he goes. This guy is going to go places and be a star. And I know for a fact that I believe he wants to at least have an opportunity to work in PPW. I'd love to see it happen. I think there's a lot of great matchups that line up with Sebastian Wolf for Prairie Pro Wrestling. I think this would be a great fit.
You should get him on here. Get an interview on here with him.
I should.
That's the easiest way to get him into PPW.
If not, just get him on here because he's a great dude, and I'd love to have him on for an interview.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We could start recruiting too, right?
We're going to have 2 PPW shows by the time we bring in all this talent here at this kind of rate.
Yeah.
I'm sure so many people will be heartbroken if we had to put on more PPW shows.
Oh, yeah.
All right,
Sebastian Wolf. I like this pick, and that's more good Canadian content. And we're keeping it close, keeping our cards close to our vest, so to speak. A Sasky boy, a guy that's done the circuit around here. I'm sure he knows about PPW, and I'm sure we could pique his interest if he saw some of those videos with that hot crowd that we get seemingly every single time. They're absolutely happening and so loud. We surprised guys like Amir Jordan, just thinking, holy cow, man, like it's not the biggest crowd in the world, but they're all screaming at the same time. Good stuff. That's what the guys want to perform in front of.
Yeah, and I mean, I can say it. I know that he has seen the videos. I know that he is very well aware of Prairie Pro Wrestling, and that maybe when the stars align, at least I'm hoping. Yep. I think he'd be a great fit and a lot of great matches that we could see out of him. Back around the table, let's go. Let's change it up this round. And this round, we pick our tag teams. I want to hear what the tag teams are, gentlemen. So, Bass, going over to you. Who's your tag team pick?
I'm going to be honest. I had to do some research on this one, and I didn't really find a whole lot. I didn't I was trying to find maybe a name that I've heard of and then do some research on them. And I didn't really find anything. So I went with the team. Yeah. I went with a team that would, again, bring eyes and social media eyes to PPW, the Da Vinci twins. Have you ever heard of them? And I even have a dream match against MRB and the Cowboy. It would be, the crowd would just do like,
they've wrestled already for sure. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So that was the only team I could think of that I was like, they'd be fun to have. The crowd would love that. There'd be pictures taken. They'd be all over the place.
And they're huge on TikTok as well. Isn't that correct?
Yeah. Well, this day and age, we got it. If we had one TikTok go viral with the Da Vinci twins, who knows?
I'm pretty sure, from my understanding, at some of the independents that they've worked, that there are people that come up and ask them what they're doing there, and they go, "Oh, we're wrestling tonight," and they're like, "Oh, you're wrestlers?"
We're like, "No."
Yeah.
No, we're TikTokers that wrestle.
Yeah, no, but they had a match on AEW, but I'm guessing that match was probably for the same reasons that I would want them at PPW, is get some eyes on the show. But either way, that's my tag team, boys. Sorry to disappoint.
It's all good. It's all good, man.
Oh, doesn't disappoint at all. It would get a ton of eyeballs on the product.
I was going to pick a Samoan team, but a lot of them seem to not be available.
A lot of them been tied to some contracts as of late. You're right.
There's not one Samoan left on the Indies, I don't think.
Yeah, and how far off is he?
Also, just to sort of interrupt, I put my Halloween decoration in honor of the Wyatt 6. I don't know if you can tell.
Yep.
Creepy ass.
There you
go. Oh, yeah.
Honor of the Wyatt 6. We were actually just talking a little bit about that before we went on the air. So.
Oh, yeah.
Papa Smokes, your tag team of choice, my man. Who you got?
Okay, I'm always going to give some love to the indie companies that we like as well. So, this one I'm going down under. I'm going down to the Kiwis. going down to New Zealand here, and I'm picking the Smoko Express because those
Nice.
guys are funny. They're a decent tag team in the ring. They cut a decent promo, and I think as far as tag team goes, they would be nice around the middle of the card, maybe the match before halftime in PPW. And with our burgeoning tag team scene, I mean, they could work with almost anybody. I see them as baby faces. We've mostly watched them as baby faces. So how about something against the Brotherhood, maybe against Sheik and Barat? I mean,
Or even just against
wow.
the Short Kings.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
There it is. There it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Getting hot in here, boys.
And that's an excellent. I had a feeling you were going to go that way, Papa Smokes, because they crossed my mind as well too. And a big
Yeah.
shout out to Ozza, who not only follows us here at OLE, but has been singing our praises on social media about the coverage we've been doing. Has been talking to me
hell
back
yeah.
and forth over social media. So shout out to Ozza and all the team down at SPW New Zealand who are big supporters of the show now. So thank you to all you guys. Awesome selection. I mean, again, like I said, it crossed my mind and I had a strong feeling you might go this direction, Papa Smokes. So I went against this one for that reason, just so we could try to get another team in here.
Yes.
And so leading into that, I went over to the NWA, speaking of companies that we enjoy and stuff like that or have enjoyed. And their current tag team champions, known as Blunt Force Trauma, Damage, and Carnage, managed by Aaron Stevens. So I'm even thinking greedier. Not only will we get the NWA tag team champions, a couple of big bruisers, a couple of very fit, tough looking SOBs, but then you also get Aaron Stevens down there at ringside along with his boys right in Saskatoon. And I guarantee you the PPW Nation would lose their shit if Aaron Stevens was there, and they would get behind that tag team for that reason alone.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Wow,
Is
beautiful.
Aaron Stevens still wrestling, or is he just a manager now?
He's been a mouthpiece a lot of the time. He's wrestled the odd match here and there, but mostly been a mouthpiece a lot. He's very, very excellent at being a mouthpiece. Very excellent at being a mouthpiece. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And again, like these are some big boys. So I mean, you're talking about like you want to go up against a couple of bruisers like the Brotherhood or anything like that. These guys could stand the physical impact of a match with guys like Creed and Dixie Dragon and stuff like that. But guaranteed they've got the speed and tenacity and athleticism to mix it up with guys like the Short Kings and the Clandestine Society. Or imagine, like you said, seeing Cheeky and Barat, who really brought it at that last PPW show. And again, we got to call that match recently, Papa Spokes, and that's going to be coming out on YouTube in the coming weeks. And one hell of a debut for them in PPW. It's, man, this tag division is absolutely lit right now in Saskatoon.
Very much so. And think about Aaron Stevens was interesting too, dude. When you and I used to cover NWA for this podcast some years ago, Aaron Stevens was a little bit newer to the NWA. And I think he was kind of what character was he in WWE? Was he Damien Demento or something like that?
No. He was that's fucking fantastic, Damien Demento. I remember that dude.
I knew it wasn't him. I just couldn't remember
Damien Sandow.
And then
Damien Sandow, yeah.
And then he was Damien Mizdow because he was the Miz.
Yeah,
that was that was amazing.
But when Stevens first started in NWA, you could see the crowd didn't get it. He was going for that sort of dry humor and that kind of ironic humor that the crowd didn't get it until he started that stuff with the what was it, Munson? He had his black belt or whatever, and he was with the question mark. You remember that wrestler, Munson?
Yeah, I do remember. Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, everybody got it, and his act is pretty funny, and it's very dry and it's very witty. And I think the crowd needed time to get what he was getting at there. And once they got it, oh yeah, he really took off. I think he's very good on promos, and he's very interesting. I think you could cut a good one and have the people laughing and getting angry in the PPW crowd.
You bet. I do just have to announce this too, and we will be putting an announcement out on social media in a short bit. But due to just some undisclosed reasons, Honor Ramble is not going to be happening tonight. It will be returning in a week's time, so stay tuned for that. But means that we got the floor here, boys. So we're going to continue on with this here fun. Now that we've got the tags out of the way, we're back to the singles division. I think we're going to save the pick of the ladies for second last or something. Get them towards the main event where everybody's going to want them to be, and they deserve to be a lot of the time. Let's go to round number 2. And again, if you guys picked more than one lady, that's fine too. That was your choice. Yeah, I've got a couple of them down here myself. But round number 2, pick of the litter. What do you got there, Bass?
I'm gonna go with he may be a little bit of an unknown, but I saw him. He had a match with Son of Irish, but he wrestles for Top Talent in Edmonton. His name is, I don't want to mess this up, Christian Star, the Star Child.
Okay.
He's
All right.
I saw a match with him and Irish had a banger. I was following him before that just because I found a lot of the Top Talent guys that had some good Instagram matches to follow and interesting to follow, I guess. So yeah, give him a look up. He's a young guy, but he's right up there, like him and Irish, the same caliber in my eyes.
There you go.
High flyer.
Parrish coming in the house saying hello to Basser there.
Parrish.
Hello, Parrish. I mean, we're here too. Papa's folks, your second round pick here for the singles competitors.
Well, I was just going to quickly say I don't know the guy that Vassar's talking about, but I have a bunch of respect for Top Talent Wrestling. I sort of know that heavy metal guy a little bit, and he's dead serious about wrestling. And he also has a very good training academy going on. So they're cranking out some students in there too. Maybe this guy is one of them. And that's so important, especially to us smaller companies in that aren't in the giant big cities. We need to keep replenishing the crops of wrestlers with new talent, right? And this is someone that caught your eye. Working with another young talent, Son of Irish, I mean, all the respect in the world for that guy. We've seen him put on some great matches in Saskatoon here. So anybody trained by Top Talent is probably getting the nod for me also.
Yeah, exactly. I 100% agree with you there, Papa Smokes. But your second round pick there, sir, what do you got for us?
Okay, this one, not as serious as some of my other picks, but you'll bear with me. You'll see what I'm getting at with this one. This is meant to be the fulfillment of something that never happened. Munson, you might remember this, Vassar. I don't know if you were going to shows back in the HIW days, but I would estimate that this might have been 2015 or 16 or something like that. HIW was going to get a guest for Regina and Saskatoon. I think he did the Regina show and didn't come to the Saskatoon show because something went wrong in his match and he got pissed off. We never got to see him. So I want to book Gene Snitsky. It's not my fault.
Oh.
I want to bring him in just because I want to fulfill the legacy that never happened before.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
that would be fantastic. Love Gene Snitsky. And I mean, that
takes bookings. I looked him up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked him up. He takes bookings and shit. He's no better looking than he used to be, but he's still working.
He's scarier looking, big ass beard.
Oh, I know. He's huge too.
Yeah, it's not his fault. You better lock up your children, not keep them away from PPW that night, or they might be getting punted.
Man, where can we get him a doll to kick into the audience? Right? It's gotta happen.
I got like 20. My daughter's got 20 in the basement. I'll bring 20. We'll kick them all.
Bass is just teeing them up, a whole bunch of
sign
them.
Up. Yeah, $50 for a signed Gene Snitsky doll. He'll even kick it against the wall for you.
That's a hell of an idea.
That's fantastic. That's a moneymaker right there if I ever heard one.
You just do it anyways. These are Gene Snitsky dolls. He's not going to be here, but
just selling broken dolls at the start of the show.
I'm just signing them with my left hand so it looks messed up.
He almost came to town like 8 years ago. Yeah.
Totally. That would have been sick.
All right. So for my second round, guys, this one is one that would be a very viral sensation for PPW and probably is at this point in time, not one that is likely to ever happen, but it would be quite interesting if all of a sudden you were standing at a PPW show and someone said his name and suddenly appeared, and all of a sudden the entire PPW nation could believe in Joe Hendry as he shows up for his very first match at PPW. I mean, man, this guy has got charisma for days. He has got the whole world hooked right now. I've been watching him since his independent time in Scotland and all over the UK. He used to do stuff with WCPW, I think they were called there, on YouTube and stuff. Like, he was great, cutting promos, singing songs, doing all that. I mean, even if just for that entertainment value, but the guy can work inside the ring as well too. And I think he'd add a lot of extra zazz to the PPW roster. You know what, BDJ? That's never gonna happen, man. There's not enough money in the world to ever make that happen.
You gotta think big, Munson. He lives almost right next door.
He does, but yeah, you never know. I mean, he could be looking for a job these days, so it's entirely possible.
I have a question. If Joe Hendry came to PPW, who would be the dream match for him?
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
So he's always a baby face, is that right? Like
you
much.
Can't help him being a baby face. He's a baby face. Yeah.
Like the crowd wouldn't want to see El Asesino beat the shit out of this guy with a chair and like bricks and stuff. So
I say, too bad, crowd.
Yeah.
Call the ambulance.
Honestly, I mean, I'd like to see him work with Shiki. I think working with Shiki would be great because Shiki draws that same kind of level of heat that Assassino starts to draw, but he doesn't quite get as violent as Assassino, but he can work a great match with Joe Hendry. And I think that it would also be great to listen to Joe Hendry come up with a song about Akbar Shabazz. I think that he would come up with quite an entertaining one. I mean, look at the fans alone. I mean, they're going to write half the shit for him. You look at those signs, they're at the front of the crowd every single time. Those fans are pretty much writing the words for the Sheikh Shabazz FU song on behalf of someone like Joe Hendry.
The Sheik gets quite a percentage of all the signs that come up at PPW too. So many of them are about the Sheik. They want to mock the Sheik.
Apparently, he's a big lover of corn and footlong subs. That's my understanding from the signs.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. All right, we're gonna go to round number 3. So again, singles competition. Who do you got next, Bass?
I'm gonna go with a man, but a specific time of a man. I'm gonna go with Johnny Curtis. Before he was Fandango, before he was Dango, before he was before the dancing, before everything. Johnny Curtis. Or he could be who he is now. We'll call him Johnny Curtis, but the dirty Dango, whatever. We don't need that. I just liked it when he was Johnny Curtis. And that's when he came to NXT. I was like, when he left, when he went to like WrestleMania and he was dancing and stuff, I was like, there's no coming back.
And yet people became addicted to what he was doing at times. I mean, he managed to get some really goofy shit over every once in a while, but he can also do good inside the ring. I mean,
he's a really good wrestler, and that
rip away the goofiness, and he is good inside the ring. So I can see it. But I'll throw that same question you just asked previously to me. Who's the matchup? Who do you got?
Let's go Michael Allen, Richard Clark.
Okay.
Battle of the Bodies.
Battle of the Bodies. I like it. I like it.
It's Pride Month, baby.
Maybe even Levi Knight.
Hey, there you go, too. Levi Knight. That's another good one. Yeah.
For nightclub supremacy.
There you go.
Dim the lights even more for that match.
Just a disco ball drops from the middle of the ceiling.
Yeah. Or you have to climb the ladder and spin the disco ball.
Yeah.
He's almost.
Oh man, we could have Disco Inferno guest on commentary.
There you go. The gifted Glenn Brady.
Oh, never mind. Don't give Disco any ideas here.
Pardo.
All right.
Just tell us we're not over. You would just tell us we're not over.
Yeah. I'm over him already. Papa Smokes, your next round pick.
Okay, I also picked 2 lady wrestlers. So my pick is I encountered this young lady when Ed and I watched some of that chaotic wrestling from
Mhm.
Boston. And I like that as an indie company a whole bunch. They got a great thing going on there. And I would gladly watch more of that. They've got at least at the time I watched that last show, they have a women's champion named Shannon Levangie. And she's quite good. And she's making a little name for herself. One of the things I like about her is she looks good. She looks fine. She's a nice looking girl and everything, but she's not trying to be hot. She's just trying to be a good wrestler. You know what I'm saying? And it comes through as she looks like an athlete that's striving for something. You know what I mean? She doesn't. She's not going for a gimmick or the glitz and the glamour and the makeup and the lashes and all that. She looks good, but she looks more like a wrestler, like an athlete than some of these ladies do. And it's refreshing. I like it like that. And she's a kind of a pure style baby face. You know, her promos are just like, I'm going to work harder and I'm going to do better and I'm going to win this match and that match and I'm going to get there. It's good. It's the classic old formula and it still works because people are attracted to that sort of thing. A person of positivity, a person with goals, a person with some motivations to get to the top of her business, and it's attractive in that way. So I'm picking Shannon Levangie.
Nice. Excellent pick there, Papa
Yeah,
Smoke.
Ed will like that. Yeah,
Yeah, he will for sure. And again, like I've checked out Chaotic Wrestling as well too. They do nice work over there, and Shannon is
yep,
fantastic at what she does. I
yep,
think she's going to be, before long is going to be somewhere bigger as well too. But she's doing great work over there
for
in
sure.
Chaotic, and they do a great production. Awesome pick, awesome. So
And if she came in, her logical opponent would be Zoe Sager,
yeah,
and I think that would be a good matchup of some chemistry as well because Shannon's not a huge girl, neither is Zoe. I think they would have a little chess match in the ring, and I think it would be very entertaining.
yeah, we'll love to see it. That would be fantastic. So excellent pick. My next round pick is going to go to our friends over at SPW New Zealand, Papa Smokes. This man is the leader of the Black Light District. We've seen the masterful
Yeah,
work he puts on in the ring. I want J.K. Moody to come to
yeah,
Saskatoon. And again,
yes,
the matches that he could have, again, if he continues on this gimmick of wanting to put on wrestling matches, but also to remove all of the character, the cartoon-like characters from professional wrestling,
yeah,
this leads itself right into the clandestine society. And that's not me knocking the clandestine society. It's the kind of guy J.K. Moody is. He would target people like the Rhinestone Cowboy or Levi Knight, people that have got a little bit of a gimmick behind them and they're not just a professional wrestler. And I could see those matches happening and them being fantastic because everything we've seen Moody in lately has been solid. He carries his matches like an absolute pro, and we would be fortunate to have somebody like that in a PPW ring.
that's an absolutely great pick, and I thought about picking him too. One of the reasons was we've seen him wrestle on a couple of those SPW cards, and we've seen him wrestle a number of different opponents too. He's versatile. You can see that he's very good in the ring. He can adapt to anybody's style and make the match look good. I think his ring skills are underrated, but he's also got the persona and he works well with the crowd. This guy really gets wrestling. He's an excellent heel, and I like your idea of who he might go after in PPW because that's right up his alley.
Yeah, I agree. All right, going to our fourth round now here, and I'm going to say that whether you got one or two or whatever you got, it's time to at least put down one of the ladies here. I know Papa Smoke's given us one already, but Bass, I need to hear at least one of your lady wrestlers.
As a guest of the show, I'm going to pick two women because
Go for it, buddy. I told you you
you
could.
know what? I picked two, and I'm not going to get rid of my last pick. And I'm sorry, I broke the rules. I'm a rule breaker.
It's all good. It's all good. It's a fantasy draft, you know.
See, one of
Heel
them's
turn.
one of them's kind of like a way out there pick, and one of them's like a pick that could happen, like with a phone call. I find.
Okay, perfect.
So I'm going to start with the way out there pick. Someone who most locker rooms probably wouldn't want, in there, but that's fine because PPW has shows every 2 months. We don't go. You just got to deal with it. It's fine. Just bring her in the back door, get her out. Tessa Blanchard.
Okay. Yep.
If you're gonna bring in a woman to PPW, you gotta have a woman like Zoe, like Taryn, who can handle her own against the men, because there's not a lot of women around to fight.
Well, so Tessa can too. She'll mop the floor with some of those PPW guys.
Absolutely, Tessa. There isn't someone in that company that she'd be afraid of. So that would be my out there pick. And then my not so out there pick is someone me and Bobby have seen at is it BWE? Yes, BW. I should have gotten that right. Terminator, Relentless Riley Rose. We've pretty much every show we've seen her there. She's been one of the highlights for the women's division, so be good to get her in, and if she'd have some good matches with Zoe, with all of them, and she's maybe not as aggressive as Zoe with the other guys, but I don't know if she's had as many matches with men, but that would be my other pick for someone more local.
Well, and Riley's still very young and new in the business as well, too. Again, so like you'd be bringing her in, put her in that environment. I think she'd adapt perfectly to it. I think that before long, she'd be mixing it up. She would connect with that PPW nation very easily. They would adore her. They definitely would. And again, like you said, that's a pick that is very, very possible because she works this kind of area and stuff like that, too. So I would be more than happy to see Relentless Riley Rose work in PPW as well, too. Excellent pick. So
totally.
Yeah, Papa Smokes, your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, like that too. Rose sounds good. I don't know her, but let's get a breath of fresh air. Let's get a young person in here to work. I also like the pick of Tessa Blanchard. I understand that there are problems with her personality and things she may or may not have said in the past and all that stuff. But to look at it from strictly a wrestling point of view, she's very, very skilled. It's unfortunate that she's kind of chopped her legs out from under her with some of her behavior alleged behavior in the locker rooms and all that, because she could be one of the top girls in the business. I think in the top company in the business if it was just on wrestling skill alone. But we all know that there's more to it than that. But Blanchard came through last year with CWE and did a show in Saskatoon.
Oh, really?
I very nearly went to that just to see her because she's a talent that stands alone. And yeah, if you could put some things to the side in your mind for a bit, you could be very entertained by her. She's great.
It's like Logan Paul. He's done some things in his past, but
Eat the shit out of him. What are you getting out of here, Bass?
Give me them primes.
Yeah, you bet. Get that street cred.
His photo shoot with Trump was probably the most controversial thing he just did recently.
Oh yeah.
So there's this YouTuber called Beard Beats Food, and this guy goes around doing food competitions all the time. Recently, he had the people at Prime reach out to him to give him a Prime sponsorship. They're like, "Can we get your mailing address to send you a bunch of Prime and stuff like that to promote on your channel?" And he replied with, "I'd rather drink my nan's piss."
They probably would have gave him money.
Oh, probably. But again, he's obviously clearly not hurting for money. His channel's very successful and stuff like that, so he doesn't need it. So
yeah, I guess if you don't need it, then
I mean, granted, Prime, I don't agree with Beard Meats Foods comments. So if you want to send us a bunch of stuff here at OLE, we'd be more than happy to drink some Prime.
I have one of the best Prime collections in Martinsville.
Yes, you do. You do. It's very Prime.
It's actually sick how many I have. I'll take you on a tour next time.
You've got a second shelf, I heard.
Yeah, but it had to be longer.
All right.
Anyways,
so Papa Smokes, your next pick, fourth pick of the round.
Okay, my fourth pick will be my other female wrestler. Then this is someone that we haven't talked to directly on the podcast, but she was spoken of very highly by one of our guests in the past, that being Joseph Samael, operating in Southern California for PCW, and he spoke very highly of Viva Van, and I've been checking out some of her stuff. She's been in the biz for a few years. She looked like she was a little shakier in her skills in those first couple of years, but looks like she's improved a whole bunch over the last, let's say, 2 or 3 years. She has done a whole bunch of big shows in California, and now she's starting to get a chance on a bigger stage. She just did some dark matches for AEW, as doing jobs on Rampage and stuff like that, or maybe ROH as well.
Yeah.
And that's the way it's done, man. You make it big in your local promotion, your home promotion, and then you branch out from there. And she's done a whole bunch of indie work. That's gone really well. And then now she's, that's just it. Get your foot in the door. Tony Khan's got your number now. He'll call you back if he liked your segments and all that. And I think she's got a bright future as well.
Yep.
She's beautiful. Her look is really good. She's got in-ring talent, and she can talk a bit at least as well. So there's work to be done and all that, but this is a potential star in the making right here, Viva Van.
Yeah, and you know what? I got to admit that I had actually put down 2 names in case you picked that one. So Viva Van was on my list. So
Nice.
I've now taken Viva Van off my list so that we can keep this, because I had 2 names written down. I had a strong feeling Viva Van was going to get selected by you, Papa Spokes, and I'm glad she did.
Oh, yeah.
100% agree. When we spoke to Joseph Samael, he recommended her. I went and checked out more of her work after that.
Yeah.
You said, she's worked some matches with AEW, worked some matches with ROH, really picking up steam in the business, and is going to be a star before long. Fantastic in-ring worker, starting to get even better on the promos and stuff. It's all coming along. Got the right look for professional wrestling. Viva Van all the way. Great selection.
Okay, great. I'm not sure if I've talked about her before, but I always remembered Samael's strong recommendation of that too. It stuck with me. If he said it that strongly, I know there's got to be something to it.
100%. So that brings me into, I guess, who my other pick would have been going into this. Someone who we saw regularly as a part of MLW in the featherweights division for quite some time. Someone who did an excellent interview over on Astrid Asks. I'm talking about the real deal Zeta Steel, who's been killing it over in Japan now as well too. Again, after we obviously saw the potential there when she was with MLW. And then we hear her on this interview with Astrid, and she's talking about her passion for the business, like growing up, loving the business, seeing what she could do, and really wanted to take it seriously and keep learning every single time. When I hear that kind of passion from someone, that kind of fan that grows up and wants to put in the work, you can tell she loves doing what she's doing. You can tell she's getting stronger in the ring every single day. She's getting her name out there. Again, it's not going to take very long before this young lady is a star, and she's already working toward it inside a PPW ring. Again, you can go to the obvious picks of TFA. You can go to the obvious picks of Zoe, because, again, ladies matches are there for the taking in that sense. But I think that Zeta Steel could get out there, and she could really mix it up with a lot of the boys as well, too. I think that people would absolutely love to see Zeta Steel get out there and smack the taste out of that SOBLS Casino. Yeah, I'm talking to you, LS Casino. GFY, your GFY, yeah, the hashtag GFY. Go fuck yourself, bud.
Careful, Munson.
He doesn't watch the fucking show anyway. I got nothing to worry about.
I'll send him the clip.
Don't you dare, Papa Spokes. But yeah, Real Deal Zeta Steel. Real Deal Zeta Steel, I think, is absolutely fantastic. Missy Hyatt, I don't know.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I mean, we got experience at least there for sure. Missy Hyatt's been around a while.
Great pick. Great pick.
I ain't never gonna stop.
I ain't never gonna stop.
Yeah.
I just saw the comment. I got it up there. We're all good. But yeah, Real Deal Zeta Steel's my pick for round 4. Going to the final round here, gentlemen. Over to you, Bass. Who you got for your last pick of the night?
Right.
So this last pick, I wrote selfish pick, because this is another guy. I've talked about him a bit tonight. He's from Edmonton, but apparently I can't drive like 8 hours that way to go watch one of his matches or put on go to one of his shows. But Harlan Abbott.
Okay.
I believe he's the trainer for Top Talent.
Yep.
Pretty much any match that I've seen of his was outstanding. I feel like he's a good teacher with everyone that he works with, because a lot of the guys that he works with seem like they put on better matches with him than they do with other people. And he's like Michael Richard Blaze. He's got like an aura about him, I feel. And the guy just looks like he can go, and the matches are all good. So the reason it's a selfish pick is because I don't want to drive far and go see him. So if I say, "Hey, come to PPW," I gotta drive 40 minutes. Well,
Yeah.
So yeah,
got a lot of experience. Again, also known as heavy metal, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's heavy metal. He used to come through here sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. BDJ saying he'd take Jeff Hardy, who I guess is technically a free agent at this point. So you could get Jeff Hardy out here to Sask. She'll give him any
Get him wasted
Don't even
before the
smoke
show.
weed.
Maybe.
No, we wouldn't. We would do no such thing. We're not going to condone things that people have problems with. Come on.
Come on. Just joshing, guys.
We'll sit out there and we'll drink water and milk with the guy.
Oh yeah, that doesn't sound like you at all, Munson.
I don't. Okay, you're probably right. I'm gonna be half wasted by the time I walk out the doors of a PPW show half the time. So. All right, gentlemen. All right, good pick. Bob Smokes, your last pick of the night.
Okay. This pick, it might be a little controversial, especially coming from me. I'm not a fan of this guy, but I think it would be very fun to see him booked in PPW, and that's because he's huge on the indies. He's all over the place. He makes a splash wherever he goes, and that is Matt Cardona. Can you imagine that rolling in as a heel with all that charisma and all that energy? And oh man, he would talk the building into a frenzy, I think.
I'm shocked you picked Cardona, and I can see why too.
Oh my,
fan of him or not, like that aside, like I mean, that's a massive selection. First of all, I mean, that's going to put eyes on the prize for sure when it comes to PPW. I don't think there'd be a name in the back that wouldn't want to work with Cardona, or would, everybody would be looking for that opportunity. Again, Cardona, he for me on a personal level, when he's in there, he's doing his wrestling stuff or he's talking, he's great. He's great at talking, and when he's wrestling, it's good. I'm just my only thing that puts me off is the deathmatch stuff. That's the only thing that puts me off.
Yeah.
If it weren't for the deathmatch stuff, Cardona all day. And I think that's an awesome selection. I really, again, like you told me it was going to be out of left field, Papa Smokes. My head went a million places, but it didn't land on Cardona. I'm impressed.
Yeah, and I just think I like what he's got going on. His nickname is King of the Indies, but that's not really an exaggeration either. He's the top guy that's traveling and working the indies. You know, Munson, in a way, it's like the old NWA champion that was a guy that everybody knows. He's a big name. He's been big in the past with the big companies. He comes to your town when you book him to work in the main event and to make your top babyface look like $1 million. That's what he does, man. And that's probably one of the only indie wrestlers that makes the same kind of money as some of these contracted guys. Now, it ain't easy. All that traveling, planes, restaurants, hotel rooms, trying to work out, trying to tan, but all that stuff, he looks like $1 million. He's got it down pat. He's the ultimate indie tourer. And again, not really to my taste whatsoever, particularly the deathmatch stuff. But if we could get him in to do a regular match against one of our top baby faces in PPW, I'll let you guys speculate as to maybe who could work him. I think it would be just an absolutely massive thing for PPW if we could manage to sign him and if we could afford to pay him.
I mean, let's not kid ourselves. A match like that is going to go to someone that the company knows has the experience and stuff like that, because when you bring in a bigger name, you got to go with somebody who, is ready to make sure that the match turns out right. And not only that both themselves and their opponent are protected properly in the match, not bring their career to a halt. I'm pretty certain that someone like Michael Allen, Richard Clark is right at the top of that list for who would be going up against someone like Matt Cardona.
Or Sean Moore. Bring him back.
Oh, hell yeah.
Ooh,
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah.
That'd
If
be
Sean Moore
tasty.
was available tomorrow, hell yeah, man.
I have something to say. When we did the picking the guys, the PPW draft, and I didn't pick Sean Moore last time, I take that back. Whatever I said, I take it back. When you was like, yeah, we both picked Sean Moore, I was like, yeah, what the hell?
See,
Yeah.
I picked Sean Moore. I picked Sean Moore a long time ago on one of these things before he ever stepped foot in a PPW ring, and it was like the next show. The next show he showed up. So I'm like, I'm fingers crossed that one of our picks here is going to land in the next couple of shows for PPW so that we can continue that and go on, say that we manifested something big here. Deals.
And my last pick is Marcel. Hey, he showed up.
Yeah.
Shout out to Marcel and the PPW Super Fam. All right, guys. All right. So I guess last pick is on me here, and let's not kid ourselves. I was always going to pick this gentleman as being someone who I'd love to see at a PPW ring. I'll probably pick him every single time as long as he's available on the indies, and he hasn't yet worked in PPW. I'm talking about the true owner of the Oprah Cup, the suplex assassin, the leader of the Beaumont Fight Club, the Mr. Alex Kane. I mean, come on. Beaumont, it's Alex fucking Kane. And it just, we call up our good friend, Papa Spokes' good personal friend, Mr. Thomas, come out, do a personal favor to be there at ringside with them. So, yeah, I mean, we get the full Beaumont package in this deal. So,
man.
I mean, and again, who don't we want Alex Kane to go against? I mean, I want Alex Kane to come out there and mop the floor with El Assassino. I want him to go out there and suplex the shit out of the Mexican Devil as many times as he possibly can and just have fun with it. Have fun beating the crap out of that sack of crap all night long. Let's do it. Boom,
Controversial, Munson. I don't know about that one, but he would be absolutely awesome in PPW or in any company, really, because, again, this is a guy who doesn't have a strong gimmick or anything like that. He's a grappling, wrestling, suplexing guy. He has the cool haircut. He's got the singlet and all that. And then all those promos. He's witty and he's funny and he's intelligent and he knows exactly the way to cut a promo, how to start, how to do the middle part, and how to wrap it up at the end. He's a student of the game and I love it. He would be a huge addition to PPW. That's a dream pick right there.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Bass, you look like you got something on your mind, brother.
I was like, are you talking about Mars the Specialist? Great hair, singlet, right on the mic, suplex assassin.
No, come on here. Mars versus Alex Kane, though.
Oh,
that would be a hell of a match.
Oh,
my God. Oh, my God. Just let them go. Like, go out there like, boys, just do your thing. Do your thing.
Oh,
You can have 20, 25, whatever you need. Just go do your shit. And
try not to hurt
that crowd. Love it.
Yeah.
Oh man, now you got my head spinning about the kind of matches you can see out of Alex Kane at PPW. But well, that's our pick, gentlemen. I think that was a great draft. Loved every second of it. And before we go here, I just kind of want to mention again, June the 29th, we got the big show coming up. If you've seen the poster, you kind of know who the roster is going to be. We're continuing on to try to find who's going to be in the title picture for the tag team titles come October at Ring of Horrors 3. So again, that's going to continue on. We've got, of course, everything going on with the world title match, Colton Kelly, Sheik Akbar, Shabazz. Again, you're never left out in the cold when it comes to PPW. We got a lot of cool stuff happening, and I want everybody to buy your tickets in advance because you're not going to, I can't promise you're going to get in if you go and stand outside the doors this time around because, again, we've cleaned up. The seats are gone. The seats are gone, my friends. It's all standing room from there. And those are going like hotcakes. Even though it's that long weekend, people are snapping them up because they want to go to the hottest show in town, Prairie Pro Wrestling at the Great Canadian Rager, eh? What a fucking title, by the way. What a fucking title. The June shows always have the absolute wildest, most ridiculous titles for PPW. And I'm going to oversell the shit out of those names. Just like last year with Who's Your Daddy? So Gotta love it. Gotta love PPW and the name committee that we got going on around here. But we got one other show after that. Again, if you can't catch us in June here, we got August the 17th. That one will be the final show before we land at Ring of Horrors 3 come October time. And at Ring of Horrors 3, when we're going to crown the first ever PPW Tag Team Champions. Bass, I think you're sporting it already, but I can imagine from your perspective, who are your boys that you're rooting for there going into the title picture?
Tyler Adams and Tony Gallahan. Close second, though. But straight up, how about that team? Huh? That's the best Tyler Adams who's ever looked, or Tyler Adams.
Yeah.
And Tommy Gallivan. I got it right that time.
There you go. He's only been around for like several years.
Yeah, I'm a dickhead. But that was both of their best matches I've seen, and I've seen a few of each of their matches. So hopefully they keep them together, and even if they don't advance in the tournament, hopefully they keep them together because there's some opportunity there, I think.
Well, just to clarify, it's definitely not a tournament. We're looking for top teams is basically what it is. So they're going to give opportunities. Management's going to assess. They're going to look at the tapes. They're going to talk amongst themselves and say, okay, this is what we're doing. This is the plan. Because right now we're not sure. It's still kind of in its infancy. We need to know who's the best of the best. I mean, we've got some early standouts. You can make claims for the Brotherhood. You can make claims for the Clandestine Society, the Short Kings. But then we saw Shiki and Barat make an outstanding debut last time. So we've got a lot of teams that are very strong possibilities in this thing. And I can guarantee you, if Ring of Horrors 3 is anything like the previous two, these shows keep getting hotter every single year. It's our biggest show of the year, and we're building towards it. I'm excited, gentlemen. I imagine you are. We're just over a week away from that June 29th show, and it might be a long weekend, but everybody start your long weekend right by getting yourself a ticket to PPW. You can go camping on Sunday, Monday, do all that shit. Leave Saturday open for professional wrestling live in Saskatoon. Bass, man, I don't know. I've got a banner made up for you to get onto your Insta, but let the people know where can they find you if they want to find the Bass Man.
You can't. No, I post pictures of my kids and like wrestling memes, so you can find me with Bobby and Papa Smokes every Thursday watching our boys.
All right.
All right, well, this show just got a whole lot more expensive because right down there, it's the Papa Smokes ticker.
Cha-ching, baby. Okay, Papa Smokes can easily be found on X, also known as Elon Musk's free speech wonderland. I am at Smokes_Papa. I'm also on Twitch at Papa_Smokes_.
There you have it. And there for me, I'm Bobby Munson, at Real Bobby Munson over on the X, Instagram, and Threads. It's at Video Bros SK, and on the Twitch, it's at Video Bro _Bobby Munson. This Saturday, maybe later on or something like that, I might try to sneak in a watch along on the MLW show that's going on this Saturday. I haven't decided just yet. That is going to be the final one that is free over on YouTube from MLW before they go to a paid subscription on the YouTube side of things. So feel free to check it out while it's still free, people. And from there, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know how much of my hard-earned money I'm willing to shell out on what I've seen from them lately, but my heart says I need to give them a chance. So I'm putting it into great debate. We'll find out. But you could also catch me this Sunday, Point of View, with Mark Robson as we're continuing the Summer of Euro 2024, talking all about the European Cup going on, all the matches, all the stats, all the goals. We've got all the facts for you. Come join us this Sunday on Point of View. You can catch me over on Mark's channel, Mark Talks Wrestling, where we are doing our season of WWE 2K24 Universe mode, where I am in control of MLW. So I call the shots. I'm the boss, and I get to do fun shit. So check out my episodes and also check out the episodes from Mark and Lauren as well. And then again, as always, I'm right back here with my main man, Papa Spokes, next Thursday for more Ring Respect Radio. So from myself, from Papa Spokes, and from everybody here at OLE, take care, everybody, and we will see you in a week's time.